Namaste. Namaste, beloved. Multidimensional beings. You know, now is the time we are riding this ascension, awakening, becoming our best versions. We are riding the wave for quite a time. We should quite know who we are now in this stage. Everyone of us who is rising in ascension should know who we are, who you are, who I am. I'm a multidimensional being. You are a multidimensional being. Everyone is a multidimensional being. There's no one who is not multidimensional being with a soul. Multidimensional truth is truth of all truths. So, you know that invocations, I am my higher self. I am that I am. What it means? There's some words. Or is it literal? I am you. Actually, in the multidimensional or oxymoron where there can nothing be literal, this is literal. I am you. I am that I am. I am my higher self. You have to understand something. Who you are. You have to remember. Multidimensionality means that I am here, I'm there, I'm there, I'm there. And I'm there. Everywhere I am. Not only here, I'm my higher self. Not only that, lower than this, I'm my galactic being who is also me. Higher than that, I am the source. Lower than that, I'm some low creature. And you too. That's the multidimensionality. Your soul, you, in reality are a multidimensional being who is present through multi-dimensions. In all dimensions, there's a part of you. And enlightenment means realizing, living, awakening all the parts in all the dimensions of you within this body. And that's how the understanding comes from all dimensions to the source, down to all dimensions, 5D, 4D, 3D. You are everywhere. And then in 4D, in lower realities, you are there. And as the soul integrated within this body, in this physical world, you gain understanding of all the dimensions, that everything is all right, and you cannot hate nothing and no one, because you are everyone and everything. Not only the parts of your soul, but as you realize the source consciousness, the I am presence at the source, at that point, you know that there's only you everywhere, and that's multidimensional truth. There's no me and you. From the highest perspective, no me and you. There's just I am, and I am you. How beautiful this is. Huh? So you see, and there's no one. And the multidimensional truth is so beautiful. That is go through dimensions, and if there is only I am, and there's no one else, and I am you, Also, there are so many, and you are unique, and I am unique, and everyone's unique, everyone's individual, everyone is special. And how? At the source we all are one. So here is the presented multidimensionality of two truths that cannot coexist in the literal mind. What are these two truths? There's only I am. There's no one else. And the other truth is there's no one else like me. I'm unique. And I'm speaking about you. At fame, no time. That's the multidimensionality. Multidimensional truth is truth. And in this truth, there is no truth. Because multidimensional truth through every dimension is different, unique, and contradicts each other. Through the perspective of the literal mind that rules this world, it contradicts each other, cannot coexist, opposes each other. But in multidimensional truth, there is truth in this dimension, and different truth in higher dimension, and different truth in higher dimension, and in parallel realities, also different truth. And the truths are opposing to each other. Truths are contradictory. That's why it said opposites united. Contradictions harmonized in love. How beautiful this is, huh? So, one and only truth is a lie. And multidimensional truth is there's no truth. Truth is that there's no truth. They're just versions of a truth through dimensions. Till the absolute truth, the source that is contained in all the truths, even the contradictory to each other. That's why you see so much nonsense here and everywhere, in spiritual realms, in awakening, in light workers, and everywhere. Because everyone, this is the multidimensional truth, everyone is in the stage of awakening, in their own dimension, in their own realization. Some are very young souls, very old. Some are just awakening. Some are in 4D, 3D. Some are here and there and here and there. And fighting because the mind rules. Literal mind means I am the truth and you are not. And then two different truths from different dimensions or different colors from same dimension meet in two persons. And they fight who is right and who's wrong. What are they doing? They don't understand what means I'm the multidimensional being. Enlightened soul understands that, knows, sees. It's just those who cannot understand, they are just in lower dimensions, lower states of awakening. They need to go through stages to realize more and more of the truths. They are actually in literal linear lie. And then when we meet somebody with different truth, and they fight who's right. They got it completely wrong. No one can be right. Beloved brothers, usually. The other one is just indifferent. He perceives things differently, expresses himself differently. He's maybe in the same dimension as you are. This is the multidimensionality even in one dimension. There are many ways. And the way that they express themselves and the way you think is not same. They are maybe higher, more deep. Like Rumi said, they can only see you as deep as they are swimming deep alone themselves. They can only see you as high as they fly. High themselves, everything higher, everything deeper. They see only their own illusions. That's what's happening. Those on higher stages don't attack. Those on lower attack. Because those on higher stages, they understand the multidimensionality of the truth. And they understand, let them be in their own dimension there. But those in 4D and 3D consciousness, which has many traps and many false ascension matrices, they think they are in I don't know which dimension, 7, 8, sometimes. But those think that this is the truth, I'm the truth, there's no other truth. If there's other truth, cannot be, because then my truth is wrong. But this, beloved brothers, you know what this is? This is 3D. You may say you are 8D, I don't know what, or God, or Jesus Christ himself. I don't know. But you can say whatever you say, but I say as long as you do this, you are in 3D. And God knows it. You don't. As you understand, as you are really much in high vibration, realized soul, then you understand that even if you don't understand somebody, maybe they are just expressing themselves in a way that is not your way, and maybe they are just flying higher than you, and you just don't understand this way. But enlightened soul really feels and gives respect and goes away. I don't have to understand. Enlightened souls feels. I don't have to. God knows. I can go wrong if I go after them. But usually enlightened soul is not confused. It sees their confusion. But those who are not enlightened, they judge enlightened souls. And they cannot understand the multidimensionality of things. And we say we are ascending. We are angels, we are multidimensional beings. But so many act in 3D ways of literal and linear. If this is true, then you are not true. We are not true. If I express myself like this, then if you express like this means that one of us is false and I'm not. So ego starts to go after. But multidimensional being realized understands and leaves them alone. They are in their own truth, on their own dimension, on their own level, in multidimensional truth which is lower than mine, and they are to learn, they are to rise. Through the experience and lessons, they are to rise to dimensions, and that day may come when they also realize the truth is multidimensional. Like you see, all religious truths are linear lies. One and only truth that separates you from God. Eternal slave. God is, and you are separated. These are linear lies. Masters, names of the masters, conceptions. What is in our soul is perverted and given as a religion, so people will remain in the matrix and fight who's right. You know. And we are want to be right and want to have one and only our truth, and others are wrong. We are same like religions. We are just our own religion. Religions are linear lies. They fight. Religion is an example of how you pervert spirituality in 3D and 4D, and then you present only linear, literal lie one way, and you have so many nations, and they all have one true God and one true way, and all others are wrong. But in reality, just how other master expressed himself and other, they all expressed themselves in their own way, and they all were approaching in different times, at different stages of consciousness, of people, different tradition, different mission, and they all had to tell a story which could be accepted that time to sink in the consciousness of man. So you see multidimensionality, also revelation of God. Old Testament, all is up. You see that beauty. Before man was completely asleep, he needed only a reminder that there is one God there. So he just awakened to the fear of God, and like this. If you look like a poet, you see like this. Poets are multidimensional. Also you have how degradation of consciousness through the Jewish tradition. First God said, it's all the multidimensionality, how consciousness is falling. Eat plants and fruits. And say, okay, eat fish. And say, okay, eat these birds. Then you see, okay, eat four-legged animal. And on the end, okay, just don't drink blood. So you see degradation of consciousness. On the beginning that the divinity of the higher dimensional truth was given. Then was falling. It's just this, just artistic expression how consciousness is falling. As we rise, we go back into highest if we choose, or we hold on to pain and suffering. I don't care. I do care. I cannot control. So everywhere is multidimensionality, even here. And through the presentations, you see Krishna 5,000 years ago approaching only very divine girls who he expressed the deepest spiritual divine love that no man could get. That's why only girls got. And he has given deepest truth of love that time, because the consciousness of those who he approached, the gopi girls, and some men who actually did not got this deep knowledge but just basic of Bhagavad Gita and like this, but he conveyed to those who were multidimensionally deep, so enough that they could grasp it, the deepest wisdom of love. And that's why it is given back then. Then the consciousness dropped. Then basics needed to be given. You understand? Like Buddha. Krishna was speaking of deepest secrets of divine love. Not so much on speaking, in feeling also. In just being. But then consciousness so much dropped after these wars and everything. It was over. Then you see as Buddha coming. Buddha, he just saw nobody is getting this multidimensional truth anymore. They all are completely insane. They are reading these Vedas. They don't understand what they're doing. They're killing animals. They're sacrificing animals. They are insane. So Buddha went there. He saw they are not multidimensional capable anymore to follow and even touch the meaning and purpose of those scriptures. And Buddha said, there's no God. These are just books, burn them. Buddha said like this, and he was incarnation of God. He said, there's no God. Burn them, burn all the Vedas, burn everything, he said. You just take care that you are good and that you good do to your brother. He taught about karma. You do to your brother what you want to be done upon you. You don't do what you don't want to be done upon you. He was just teaching them this, just basics, basics of karma. The people, And Krishna before given and all this, but they could not anymore grasp even nothing anymore that time. And that's why Buddha said it's all bullshit. Burn it down, he said. He said there's no God, there's nothing. There's only karma. Because at that time, 5,000 years ago in Krishna, they could really get the deepest wisdom of divine love. And now they could got only this. Only this they could get. Not to kill each other. And not to hurt each other if they don't want to be hurt. So Buddha was to the public preaching all this, just this. Jesus same. You see, he was going to savage land. No, like animals. Animals are good anyway, like savages. So also he just had to teach them a basics. And to his close circle he went deep into the multidimensionality. But there to the public, just basics. Basics. And the tradition was different in India and Buddha like this. And that's why also to relate with the Jewish tradition, with their consciousness, with their mind, in a way that they could accept. Buddha also in a way that they could, Hindu people, that they could accept this thing. So there's no masters don't bring the truth. They are the multidimensional truth. They come, they see the state of the consciousness of people, and then they multidimensionally approach in such way that people get something. And many times they plant a seed and they know this seed will give fruit only for 2,000 years. And many bad things will come out of seed also, but no problem. This is slowly rising the planet. Looking absolute multidimensionality. What is to come out of this, not all the casualty. So like this, you see. Every tradition, different culture, different consciousness. And masters that descended, embodied like we are now, acted according to time and space and consciousness so they could reach. They are multidimensional beings. After that, they made the men, literal and linear men. They made truths, absolute truths, linear absolute truths and religions and all this shit out of them. They were just approaching people and giving them what they could grasp. But then they were used to do more violence. Masters knew this, but they knew that much bad will happen, but it will have such effect like that on the end. It is to prevail, and all bad things are only to push towards the best thing. So like this, they are one with God. And that's why you have in Pleiadian channeling said, in past we had to tell you many lies. Many lies, because they were just activations to activate your consciousness, to awaken, to shaken. And such lies are also in religion. Like I said before, as in so many, when consciousness dropped completely, people only could maybe fear that there is something, that they are not beasts. And they could only grasp that there's some God somewhere. And they were all afraid, they're all savage, so all the relationship they could have maybe was fear. And then at consciousness risen, masters always came and given deeper, 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 deeper wisdom, like building a building, multidimensionality. We complete one multidimensional after 100 years. Going from there, I feel like this also going from where I left in many lives, especially Lalon's. And he said actually, don't follow me. Follow after me. As I stop, you go further. There's no end. He said on his deathbed. Anyway, nobody knows this, but I tell you. Nobody else there, I think. Some of you were, but maybe you don't remember. Uh, he said actually, don't develop. I'm just ending here. You go on from there. I just shown you the way to here. This is not the end. Now you have to go further. This is how he is teaching them multidimensionality. And he was really genius because they could not create a religion out of him in Bangladesh and in Bengal, in India, no. Because he was too specific about this all the time. There is no absolute truth. He was telling Amar Mon Hermanos that we all are God, and to worship means to love your brother, and if you love your brother, God is happy in their heart, and then we are dancing. And he was preaching all religions, rainbow, all the outcasts from all religions, they could come in his retreat he had in one forest because he was outcast also, a religious outcast. And a beautiful place where all the colors of all religions that were casted out could live in peace and be in love through one God. And this is actually multidimensionality when you know. We all are just, like I explained before, Master just presented the ways that people could accept according to tradition, according to their religion, according to previous religion, and like that, according to time and space and consciousness, like this. Also, I do same like Lalon Saiji did. Jesus Christ did the same. He was just preaching to Jews so they could convey, they could link and connect, but he was preaching completely something else. That's why I crucified him. And they want to kill Lalon also. Because he was using Hinduism, Christianity, Muslim. This was 300 years ago, so everywhere was there in India. So he was using so deeply that those people who were in these religions, they could relate to him like they relate to their religion, but he was telling them the truth. He was telling them like this, they're heaven and there are four doors and all lead to the same place. From one Christians come, from one Muslim, from one Hindu, from one Buddhist, but we all meet there in love. They are just different gates. And like this. And he was actually conveying the same message, and as he was singing songs and writing poetry and like this, he was singing songs that were also Christians, that were also Muslim, that were also Hindu, but with that same message of love. So he approached all these people who are lost in literal linear truths and fight for the right and wars and all this shit to unite them in a rainbow. There's a literal lie of the mind is a gray shit, and everything what is not on that gray point must be attacked, destroyed. Because if this gray point is truth, then everything else is a lie, and if everything else feels like truth, I have to kill it. This is how literal mind feels, thinks. If they would feel, they would know. But multidimensional truth is a rainbow of color. They all don't need to be right anymore. Don't prove no one wrong. Respect and accept each other for who they are, how they want to be. Don't want to change because they are love. And don't want to change each other. And in this love, in this respect, And love is that deepest multidimensional truth that unites all literal linear lies in one truth, in a rainbow. You know, so beautiful. Actually did not know what I would speak. I just know that I want to speak about this, and it turned out nice. So it's a rainbow, and love is that glue. Without love here in this world, we got religion, linear lies that all fear because they know deep within that they are a lie, so they fear to be disproven and they have to kill their opponents in many ways. Even here on Facebook, you have all these people who think they are one true God, and then they just have to eliminate, like Highlander. There can be only one, but you block them, you will take their head, no problem. You see, they're like this. It's just like this. The same examples everywhere. A lie who fears to be proven that is a lie and then has to kill all the truths around it. You know? This is religions. This is in this world, and this is linear lies. And that's why people, like, if they have different realization like you, and you express your truth and they come after you, you have to understand they don't know anything. And this is their truth, very low truth. You have higher truth because you understand multidimensionality. You're part of a rainbow, and you just bless them. And if they don't go, block them, and like this, pray for them, and what to do, summon. And like this, I've always been into abstract poetry. Rumi, Lalonde, Kabir, and abstract things, Salvador Dali, Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ, abstract, poet. Everything else what's in Bible written, these are not his words. If you look at his words, you see it as only abstract poetry, speaking about seats and houses and all this that you have to feel the meaning. Otherwise, otherwise there were some people so crazy that when they went after the lecture, they were throwing seats on the ground and they thought they're going to heaven. So this is not good. Not good to take literally everything. Then you maybe go do stupid things. Like this. Don't take everything literally. There's a meaning deep inside, and that's why I say Jesus Christ was abstract poet, and everything what others wrote, this is their shit. Let them write whatever they want. But this poetry is nice about houses and seats and all this. You get all the answers there, like this. I was always in that kind of thing. Poetry, abstract, because this abstract, like also Pleiadians say, we are not here to tell you the answer, we are here just to remind you. So these are just abstract poetry, are just activations. I cannot tell you the truth, I can only give you the activation, my article, my poetry, and this may activate your multidimensional truth within you. And this is how it is. This is how it is done, how it always been. Just seeds planting, and you get your own truth. That's why, like, if you see, if you know, you have experience, I don't know, maybe just from movies, or it's from India and everywhere, masters really never directly answer nothing. They tell you some riddle, they tell you something, and you wait, what the fuck? And then after 3 months, you get, doop! Oh, there was a seed planted. The same is with abstract poetry, with all these words, deep words and everything. Yes, there's deep teaching within, and mind kind of thinks that it understands. But the reality of a word is that it just reminds you, makes you, gives you something to remind you, and after you may get your own answer from within. All the things are actually, all the things here, everywhere, YouTube here. Also, this is what I'm speaking now. It's just activations to inspire, to empower, to give the code, to give the encoding, so you can unlock your own truth. That's why you can see how, like, spiritual books like Bhagavad Gita and all this, and Upanishads, and all this abstract poetry, Rumi alone, and like this. You see people, also my stuff, people reading in different states of consciousness, read completely different things, and get completely different meanings out of that. Same word, same poem, same like this. Where they are in their consciousness, this is the meaning they get, and this is and the word acts like this. There are many meanings. And we get only that meaning how deep we are. We can get very, like, if you ever read, like, okay, Bible also, Gita and all these things. If you go read now, you get completely different meaning that you got 5 years ago. Something super, always deeper, always deeper, always deeper. First there are religious meanings, then they go deeper, 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 mystical. Then on the end you cracking the codes. Yeah? You understand that this is just the book that you remind yourself what to do now, and you were just coding inside something or something like this. Yeah, multidimensionality, you remember. This is very important point. Your higher self is you. The being you worship is probably you. And if you worship God, you worship yourself. Because the multidimensionality of every one of us is, in the beginning, I am one, you were one. And there was no other, just you, that I am. And this is 100% 44 truth, multidimensional truth, because we all came from the one. So no one can be here now if he was not the one that I am, in the beginning, the source. So you are that. For shizzle, manizzle, you are that, for sure. Everyone listening. But those who accept and are ready to go to the path to embody and be the multidimensional being, the source, embodiment, higher self, everything. Those who remember, those get. But in reality, multidimensional reality, I am you. And everyone is the original being from the beginning. Because otherwise you will not be here. You will not be living. Because in the beginning there was only one, that I am. There was no multidimensionality, nothing but just the source. And then out of that one came love, and out of her came everything. You see, truth. I did not mean to do that, but angels wanted to lift my hand, but I did not know where it goes. So it's just the sign that is true. I am you. And you can argue like this, but if you know that everyone came from the one, then it cannot be no other way. You are on the beginning that one. You are source, you are God. And more you remember that, more and more you accept that, more and more you can achieve that, you can be on your higher self. Or why only higher self? I'm a higher self, okay, but then you are a higher self, then you say, I'm a higher self, there's something higher, yes. So, the Christ means the being. Okay, Jesus Christ is Ananda. I'm not speaking about that, I'm speaking about Christ. Christ is just title for a being who realized and integrated, embodied his fullness and completion. So it means source embodied, God embodied. And every one of you, every one of us can achieve this because every one of you is that in the highest multidimensional truth. And in the lowest you are this small, linear, literal, trapped in the mind being that cannot do nothing. And praise to God. But from the highest reality, because you are here now, everything came from the one expansion. You are that one. You are everyone in between. And then you see that line of your soul But when you are in the source code, then you understand that not only your lines from your soul, but everyone came from the one. So everyone came from you. Everyone is you. That's the multidimensional truth. The literal lie is, we are all separated, I'm just this small being here. Or little religious lie, I'm here slave, there is God, this religion is truth, nothing else is this. Little lie when somebody is speaking fifth dimensional knowledge, somebody else sixth dimensional, and one with fifth dimensional is telling the others in sixth that it is a lie, because he is in third dimensional literal lie of the mind. He thinks only his truth is the truth. So the multidimensional truth, when you understand this, through all dimensions everything is truth, and these truths contradict each other. If you look in from the mind, truth, from 4D truth, from 5D truth, from 6D, they are contradicting each other. But in the multidimensionality they coexist. Contradictions harmonized, opposites united, no problem. Multidimensional truth of all things. You are everywhere. You are a multidimensional being who is present now here also on this planet in many incarnations. And you are a multidimensional being who is in her lower selves and higher selves, and everywhere is you. Everywhere is you. You are the source, you are everything between. Also, there are representations of you lower. Realized, enlightened, multidimensional being, realize this, and realize there's nothing but I am, and everything is okay in this multidimensional reality. What I condemn, what I hate, I am that on the lowest stage. And what I love, what I just want to fly, I am that on the highest stage. And through integrating and embodying, realizing all the multidimensional parts of yourself within this body, you gain the understanding through all dimensions, all reality. You understand God has no position. Everything is just part of multidimensional dance, low and high. And you have compassion because there's only you. You no more hate, no more see evil. You just see choices, darkness and light, and like this. And because you are present everywhere, you have understanding of every dimension. And those who are present only somewhere beneath you don't understand you. And like this. But you understand them completely. Literal linear mind cannot understand multidimensional being. But multidimensional being is praying for that fool as they accuse and judge and like this. And want to be right. So like this. I hope I went deep enough for sure. You are not that here, just this small being in this body. You are a multidimensional being up to the source. Your higher self is you. In your higher self, it is you, higher than you, reminding you that you are that, so you can rise. Source is above, in the center of everything, and within, in the center of you, you are the universe, you are the source. You are the universe experiencing himself in human body. And as above, so below, the source is within you, you are that source. So it's all about choices. You choose, you say yes. In your soul, you let go of all beliefs of separation. You don't have to believe anything. You don't have to accept anything I said. You can just say, I free myself from all beliefs, from everything. God, whatever highest and multidimensional possibilities are possible for me to be, I accept. I am open. I receive. I am. God knows best. No limitations of beliefs. I can never be that. I can never be that. Then I just build a brick wall, ceiling. I can never penetrate. I'll hit like if I would jump here up on that ceiling, hit my head. We have to open. We have to let, okay, we don't have to believe anything, what they say. But we open ourselves and let the source, let God take us to the highest and multidimensionality we are capable and what is possible for us and available. And even higher than that, I always say, let the highest be embodied for me higher than I even believe. That I rise higher than I believe highest. That I embody more than I believe is possible. That I do greater things than I believe that are possible. And in time, I see what happened these 2 years. Everything is to come if you open yourself and you give permission. You open your 3D linear literal self and you give permission to realize yourself as much as is possible for God. That's why it's so important to let go of your beliefs. What you cannot and what is, and all the separation and everything. Let go of duality, let go of linearity of your mind. Feel more and open yourself. And in the end you realize there's only you. How can you hate yourself and go against yourself? You can only pray for yourself in the form that you don't know that I am. You. So, enough. Yes, I really went deep enough and short enough and long enough and said enough. What can be said? In past I could do 15-minute video no problem but now there's so much to speak. I can speak 3 weeks. But short bombs are what really activates, and if not so short, 1 hour maximum. Here is half, I think, and this is just enough. So, beloved multidimensional beings, open your heart, be blessed as I am. Don't limit yourself with beliefs and what others and like this and this and this. And just know the truth is truth through all dimensions. And whatever is real here, other things appear completely opposite to this. But in multidimensional truth, they both coexist, contradictions harmonized, opposites united. So you just know that there's no absolute truth. There's no one and only this and that. And we all are the rainbow. We all are the truth. We are the way. We all are the light. This is multidimensionality. We are the rainbow. And the beauty of a rainbow is that we can agree even if we are of different color. And we can be the one rainbow and dance. It's multidimensional truth. All things is love. Glue that glues the rainbow together. Okay. Be blessed as I am in all multidimensionality, for I am you. Namaste. Okay, something